Welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. On today's show, we'll be discussing the Sony Marvel situation when it comes to Spider-Man. Some pretty interesting set photos came out over the weekend, seemingly from the set of Morbius. It has started a massive debate in the fandom about the future of Spider-Man in the MCU. We're going to break all of that down, plus get into some of the fake Marvel news that is out there that I want to debunk, and I want to tell you guys about the Marvel game I am most excited for in 2020. Let's start the stream. Hello, and good morning, all of you beautiful nerds from around the world. How are we doing today, guys? Happy Monday! We're getting it in, man. We are going to get it in. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about. It is, of course, a Marvel Monday, and whoo! Whoo, baby, do we have some Marvel news to talk about. I'm sure you guys know about some of the stuff that's been going on with DOS MCU and DOS Sony. So we're going to get into all of that. Also, guys, a couple of things I want to plug. Wow, this music's intense. Woo! It's pretty intense there. I don't know, guys. So we might have to shut that down. That's a little too much for me. I got to be honest. That's a little much. But of course, I want to plug a couple of things. By the way, I see you guys in here in the chat. I see you in here. I see you, Jason. I see you, Moonlit, Brian, Grey Dawn, Ray Howell, Jacob's Quest, Ryan, Livingston. Oh, whoa, who's that, Mr. Nightbot? Oh, Nightbot. Hey, thanks for reminding. Wait, why would you delete that, though, Nightbot? Oh, my God. All right, well, we're going to have to figure out what's going on with the Nightbot. I apologize about that, but yeah, you should not be doing that, Nightbot. We're going to have to rein you in a little bit. Good morning, fellow nerds. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you guys doing? How's the weekend? Let me know. Yo, you guys let me know. How was the weekend for you? I know, we'll fix Nightbot up. I got to be honest. This is a new thing for us, right? So we're going to have to fix the Nightbot up. So I apologize. If Nightbot comes hard, I apologize, guys, okay? So, a couple of things I want to plug for those of you watching either live or on the replay. Number one, community stream tonight on the Den of Nerds Live on the channel that you are watching right now. Community stream, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be talking about, does fandom have too much power? That's what the stream's going to be about. Does fandom now have too much power? We're going to talk about that. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Also, guys, Tara and I are working on a video today. We should be doing an either today or early tomorrow. It will be about Birds of Prey because, guys, I tell you, we were wrong about some of the things inside the film. But, whoa, baby, were we right about the fact that this movie was not resonating with DC fans, that not a lot of DC fans wanted to check this out. This movie's flopping hard. Around 30 million, coming in 20 million under its estimate, which was already bad. You know, when I did that video with Tara, when we were talking about that, I was like, guys, even 50 million is bad. That's a third of what Suicide Squad opened with. And look, it's one of those things where, you know, trends are trends, and it is what it is, man. Like, I'm not pumped about the trends going on with Star Wars, for instance, right? Star Wars movies are making less and less money. That's not good. There's no way you can paint that as a good thing. That's not a good thing, right? I don't like that. I'm a Star Wars fan. I love a Star Wars. But when you look at the DC movies, it's a very similar trend. It's like, blue, 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 blue. They are fucking up in a big, big way, okay? So we're going to have to get into that. I'm really hoping to do a video later with Tara. We have some notes back and forth on that, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get right in to all of that later today. Okay? So, a couple of things we got to talk about with regards to Marvel Monday, baby. You guys ready to get into the first topic? Are you ready? We'll come back in a little bit here. We'll come back to the chat in a second here, but I want to talk to you guys about some things that are going on, okay? Now, if you don't know about the thing that happened over the weekend, okay? This all has to do, there was a big rumbling that happened in the fandom, right? And this all has to do with a set photograph that came out. Here it is right here. Oh my God, I gotta get my head away from that bus, man. Look, this is the set photograph right here. And this is actually one of the angles. There was various angles of this set photograph, okay? Originally, people thought this was from the set of Venom 2. And they were like, whoa, Venom 2 is going to actually have references to Spider-Man being on the run. That's pretty freaking wild. It now appears people have come forward and said, no, this is actually from the set of Morbius, okay? And there are other shots that I could put up with Matt Smith and Jared Leto walking down the street, so it does appear to be from Morbius. But this is yet another sign, folks, that Spider-Man will either be actually in Morbius or at the very least is going to be referenced heavily in the background of that film. Okay? So what this looks like to most of the fans, and trust me, like this is going to be fun. This is going to be really fun. What this looks like to Marvel fans is that these two dudes, this guy and this guy, which to me is like, it represents like this is the Sony side of things, right? And then this is the Marvel side of things, okay? It's a sign to the fans that, yet again, Marvel and Sony might not be playing as nice together as we originally thought, okay? I saw this described as the elephant in the room over on Twitter, okay? Yo, let's see that Goku shirt. Look, only for you, Trinity. Here we go. Boom! Oh, get the mic out of the way. Boom! Only because it was you that asked, bro. Okay, so I saw this described as an elephant in the room on Twitter. Here's the question, folks, and I need your input here. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the replay, drop your comment in. I'm coming back and I'm checking the comments. This week, I'm going to be much better about checking the comments after the fact on the live show. So if you're one of those people that loves watching the live show but you can't watch it live, you watch it on the replay, I'm going to be checking out your comments. So drop a comment on this, please. The question is, folks, if Tom Holland appears in the Venomverse and he's essentially playing the same character that he was. This isn't a different version of Peter Parker. This is the same Peter Parker, okay? And this character is the same that we had in the MCU. Is the Venomverse then in the MCU? Even if there's no mention of things that are in the MCU, even if Kevin Feige doesn't approve, if we see characters from the MCU movies like Vulture, like J. Jonah Jameson, like Tom Holland, Peter Parker, if they're in the Venomverse, does that just automatically make the Venomverse into the MCU? You tell me. You tell me. And here's the really interesting part about this. If you don't think this is a big deal, if you're kind of kicking back being like, oh man, this really doesn't even matter. Why is this even a topic? Josh, you're going to do this as your thumbnail? This is your whole Monday show? Bros. You don't understand fandom if you don't understand why this is a big deal. People are freaking out about this online. Like, literally, we were talking about it. There were people, like, coming at Tara's throat on the Discord. Because this is actually a really big deal for people, okay? So, the thought, I've seen this espoused as well, and I find it very interesting. So, you let me know in chat. I want to know what people are thinking, okay? Yes, unless explained otherwise. Kylo Rob says yes. CGM Show says no. Joseph says no. It's only adjacent. Oh, this is good stuff. And we will get into Q&A later, so I'm actually excited. We'll get into Q&A, and we'll get into this. We'll talk about this. But let me go on, okay? By the way, you guys having fun yet? Are you having fun yet? Smash that like button if you're having fun. Okay. Now, I saw other people saying online that the idea of Kevin Feige coming in and having a plan to the degree in which he's going to literally make it a diegetic thing. And when I say diegetic, that's just a fancy film school word, okay? I spent thousands of dollars on film school just so I could know fancy words like diegetic. It's basically what it comes down to, okay? So diegetic means it's explained within the story, okay? Classic example of this and kind of playing with form a little bit. Have you guys ever seen Blazing Saddles? If you've ever seen Blazing Saddles, there's this part where there's this band playing and there's this cool music on, and then the camera pans and the band is actually in the movie. Like, they're actually on set. And so what that is playing with diegetic and non-diegetic, okay? Music in a movie, the score is usually not diegetic. It doesn't actually exist. The characters don't hear that shit. You know what I mean? And but if something's actually in the film, that's diegetic. It's within the world. So I say all of that to say, if Feige comes in the next Spider-Man movie, because they re-signed the deal, right? If Feige comes in and gives an explanation, like at the end of the next MCU Spider-Man movie, if Peter jumps through a little door that says, after this, you will no longer be in the MCU and you'll be over with Sony. If he goes through that door, that would be a diegetic way to explain how he goes into the other universe. Okay? I saw people saying that's ridiculous. I saw people saying there's no way that Feige will do that. But I'm here to tell you, I 1,000% believe, 1,000% believe that is exactly what Feige wants to do. That's what he wants to do. And I 1,000% believe that if Sony does not want him to do that, basically. Like, Sony's like, no way. Like, let's just sweep that under the rug, man. Hey, why is it a big deal? Hey, it don't matter. Hey, it don't matter. Why not let him just think that? Come on, Kev. Like, you know, like I could see, like, AVA being like, hey, Kev, come on, Kev. Let's just let it happen. You know what I mean? So what's really interesting about this is I want to recontextualize some of the things we talked about last week. Feige, that gangster. Exactly. But here's the thing. How gangster can he be in this specific situation is the question, right? Last week, we went over a report. It was actually on Friday. A report that came out from the Illuminati. By the way, Illuminati might be getting too big for their britches. That's a whole nother thing, okay? Illuminati ran a scoop that they had uncovered that there's going to be a Craven solo movie, okay? Now, what's interesting about this, after that report came out, which I think it really slipped in on Thursday, according to Charles Murphy, who's friend of the channel, we've had him on the channel before, Charles Murphy is a great scooper, okay? And you're going to start to see over time what's the difference between a great scooper and like a okay scooper or a bad scooper, okay? The way Charles explained this was that the Craven Grid, that casting grid, that predates Sony and Marvel coming back together. Okay? So that grid for a solo Craven movie is old. It's from before Marvel and Sony agreed to come back together again for 2 more films in the MCU. Now, does that mean that totally changes their plans and that whatever they're doing with Marvel is now completely changed that? No, it doesn't mean that. But what it shows us a couple of different things. It shows us that Sony's plan, certainly prior to this all coming back together, like after the fallout at D23, right? Where, you know, Tom Holland comes out and it's been a really hard week, and I just want you to know I love you all, and I'm really fucking pissed at Sony, but I can't say that. No, he didn't say that, right? Of course. But he comes out and he's really confused. Point being, Sony's plan, and it was obvious to me, but Sony's plan is to clearly take back that dude, to take him back, put him in all their films, and then just make people believe that they're all in the same universe. Right? But is it possible that in the negotiations to bring them back and do a couple more films in the MCU, is Feige going to figure out a diegetic way for Tom Holland to exist cleanly in the MCU and then cleanly separately in the Sony Marvel universe the other way? I don't know. I don't know, but I know that people are fucking pissed about it. I do know that. Some people are saying, like, there's no way, like this would be so bad. Some people think it's not a big deal. I'm kind of on the fence. My opinion of it, honestly, is that it's not a big deal until it is a big deal. Meaning, if Sony takes Spider-Man and does some wacko, crazy stuff that is so impactful or so ridiculous that when we see him in the MCU again, it would beg to be addressed. If it's all the same character, it will beg to be addressed. And then if Feige doesn't want to address it, and then there's like this messy kind of sloppy thing going on here. You know what I mean? There's potential here for a lot of confusion. And that's not what we like in the MCU, right? Like, one of the beautiful things about the MCU is how well put together everything is. Now, of course, it's not perfect. They've had little slip-ups here and there. Sony screwed up their Avengers timeline in Homecoming already. So the question is it a big deal? Does Sony just get to be in the MCU? Like, if they're, like, think about it. Really, think about it. They can just literally take it and just say, hey, it's the same dude. Grandma doesn't know the difference. We're looking for Grandma's ticket. You know what I mean? Does Grandma still go to the movies? I don't know. So it's an interesting conversation. I want to address the chat on this. I'll go back and read some of what you guys are saying. But I'm sure we'll be talking about this for a while. But here we go. Tara says she doesn't think it'll be messy. How people forget that Sony needed Marvel, not the other way around. Yep, I agree with that. Maybe, Hector says, I mean, they were able to make a pretty good Into the Spider-Verse on their own, and Venom was better than expected. It's true. It's true. Uh-oh, June coming in hot says it's not stealing if they own it. Right. Interesting point, June. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. After they teamed up with Marvel to get goodwill again, otherwise they wouldn't have let Marvel use him. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe it's more copacetic than we think. Rose says bad scooper equal pooper scooper. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Actually, that's our next topic. We're going to talk about some bad scooping. We're going to talk about some pooper scoopers. Some human pooper scoopers. Oh, my God. I'm going to get an email for that. Okay. My big problem with Sony is that they're trying to confuse everyone into seeing their movies. Dude, that's exactly my problem with them. They don't just get to... it's not the MCU, in my opinion. If they're just trying to, like, take... I'm all for Spider-Man being in Morbius. I'm all for Spider-Man being in Venom. I like it. But you don't just get to be in the MCU. Like, that is so absurd to me. Sony's just going to be like, yeah, no, nobody will notice. Just fucking put him over here. It's the same character. We got Vulture. What you want? What you want? I don't know, man. Something about it bugs me. Justin Simone says, heard a rumor Rogue is the Captain Marvel 2 villain. If so, Kevin Feige has found a way to get people who didn't like Captain Marvel to watch it. Anyways, Feige the gangster. Justin, that's a great thought, but it's complete horse shit. Let's get right into the next topic. Let me explain. All right, that's it. We'll touch on more of this Venom Sony stuff, I'm sure, in the future. But, guys, we got to get into this. We got to talk about this. Let's talk about this clickbait. Let's talk about this fake news. So, unfortunately, some reports have been circulating up about Fantastic Four and Rogue being in Captain Marvel 2. By the way, Justin, don't feel bad, brother. This is not your fault. This is not your fault. I know there are some other big YouTube channels out there that have reported some of this stuff to you as though it's the same kind of stuff that we get from, like, Charles Murphy or whatever, right? The truth is, most of these reports, the reports about Fantastic Four and the reports about Rogue being in Captain Marvel 2 are coming from Mikey Sutton. Okay? Now, I don't have anything personally against Mikey Sutton. I don't know Mikey Sutton. Look, it is what it is. But here's the truth. A lot of the people that I know, and you guys know, I take the scooping seriously, right? Like, I take the scooping seriously. Most of the people that I know tell me Mikey Sutton, full of shit. Full of horse poo. That when it comes to being a scooper, he's a pooper scooper, not a Marvel scooper. Okay? I know he's got his fans. I know some people really respect the guy or whatever. I'm not going to report Mikey Sutton scoops. I'm not going to do that. Okay? Mikey Sutton, it's just, look, the proof is in the pudding. A lot of people have come out there and talked about it. I don't want to. Not gonna sit here and dog on the guy. You know what I mean? Not gonna do it. But those scoops, no. Zero. I would literally put zero stock in that. Zero. And by the way, too, I say this all the time, but it's really true. If you go to the Marvel Studios spoiler subreddit, look, is there some bullcrap that comes from Reddit? Absolutely. But by and large, the moderators and the system that is on Reddit is very good at weeding out the bullcrap. Like the George Lucas wants to come back to Star Wars, but only if he has complete creative control. Okay? That wasn't on any like the Marvel subreddit. There were some people that tried to post that, and it gets downvoted into oblivion because these people can source where it comes from, and they can. It's pretty good at weeding out the bullcrap. They took a hard look, the moderators over there, at what Mikey has done, the scoops that he has had. Which, by the way, I think he's literally only had one scoop that was correct, and I'm pretty sure he stole it from somebody, and that was the Spider-Man scoop that Spider-Man was coming to the MCU. Like legit, I've been told that. I've been told Homeboy stole that scoop. Okay? I don't know if it's true, but it's what I heard, guys. It's what I heard, okay? So this rogue in Captain Marvel business, if it is real, if it does happen to actually happen, it's like on accident. It's like Homeboy got lucky. He's not scooping anything real there. And doesn't it sound a little ridiculous? Like, you can almost sense when you're reading stuff like that, it's being made in a way that gets people excited and gets people riled up. Rogue being a Captain Marvel too, that's like a fanboy thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's a fanboy thing. It's like they know you want that, and they know that they can report it as a rumor and get people excited about it. But it's not a rumor. It's fucking make-believe. You know what I mean? It's playtime. It's let's get the dolls out. Let's play adult. You guys remember that, by the way? Do you remember being a child and playing adult? Oh my God, how fucking wrong were we then? You know what I mean? You don't want to play adult. You're doing it fine. The kid thing, that's where it's at. You don't want to play adult. But yes, that is that's the dealio on that. Okay, so when it comes to that story, I'm not going to report it. And look, people got to make their bread how they want to make their bread. It's totally cool. Like, and look, I'll just be real. It's everything always, and it's Cosmic Wonder. These dudes, I get it. I get what you want to do, and you want to entertain your audience. You want to talk about these rumors. That's totally cool. Like, I'm not hating on the players. I'm not even hating on the game because we're in the game. I'm just playing it a little differently. You know what I mean? To me, I think in the long term, it will be more like when I did the scoop yesterday about the Rebels sequel. I think personally, and I'm just speaking for me, right? The only reason that I think people even give a shit what I have to say about that is because I've been very careful to try to get accurate information. I don't go forward hard on stuff unless I have some cross-reference. I got multiple sources telling me something. You know what I mean? I'm not a scooper. We're not scoopers at the Den of Nerds. We're fucking nerds. We're just nerds. But I think, personally, there's a lot of nerds out there that want to know what's actually going on. You know what I mean? That want to know what's actually going on. So, like, you know, everything always talking about these Fantastic Four rumors over the past couple of weeks. Guys, that's all coming from Mikey Sutton as well. Mikey Sutton has Fantastic Four scoops. I'm sorry, I don't fucking buy it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not buying it. So until I hear something from someone that I trust, until I hear something reported by somebody that I actually believe, I can't report on Fantastic Four, Mikey Sutton. We've got this covered. Independent.uk bullshit. Again, not hating. It's all good, baby. It's all good, baby. Do your thing. Make that bread. Make that bread. I'm just doing it differently. You know what I mean? I just want to do it a little bit differently. That's me. Okay? So, to clarify, all of the reports about plot leaks and things that are going on with Fantastic Four and all the reports about Captain Marvel 2 and Rogue being in them are baseless. They're completely baseless. Now, I will say this. It is really interesting that we had Emily Blunt sitting down with Marvel Studios. That's really interesting. A lot of people think, though, that she was actually being courted for the role of Clea, not actually the role of Sue Storm. Because if you don't know, there's this huge effort in the fandom to cast Emily Blunt and John Krasinski as the first family, as Marvel's first family. Okay? There's a big push. They want that to happen. I want that to happen. I think it would be dope, man. We were talking about it a little bit last night, like me and Ken Cologne talking about it a little bit last night. That would be such a big win for them. It would be so cool. But this is what's really weird. It is. That's a tough fucking contract, dude. That's a tough contract. How are you going to do that contract? You want me and my wife and my husband to play a family. It's a multi-picture deal. It's got all the Disney bells and whistles, all the Disney PR stuff. Basically, like, the first line of all new Disney contracts is, please don't be like John Boyega. You know what I mean? And so you got to sign the anti-John Boyega contract, which sucks because Boyega's pretty dope. So it's like you're looking at his funny memes and shit, and you're like, oh, man, I can't even meme? Boyega, you screwed it up. You know what I mean? So that's a tough contract because they'd have to sign away a large portion of their time for a long time, and they'd have to be real Disney about that. You know, I tell people, by the way, like a lot that the real danger of the MCU is not like DC or like the Valiant universe. Like, the real danger of the MCU is actually Disney. If Disney goes too Disney on the MCU, it will hurt it. You know what I mean? Luckily, Feige has proven, and he's so powerful as an individual, that he can kind of keep the Disney stuff at bay. But I say all of that to say, I would absolutely love it, guys. I would love it if we got John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Sue and Reed in the Fantastic Four. But there's no real evidence that that's what's going on, other than the comments being made by these actors. When John comes out and says in an interview, I don't know if they're considering me for this, but if they are considering me for this, I would love it, and please continue to consider me for this. That is, in a sense, I don't want to say like a ploy or a scheme, but that's an actor thing. You know what I mean? They want to keep the conversation going. You know, they want to have it sort of be leaked so that the studio's thinking about it, everybody's thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'd love it, but there's no evidence to suggest that it's actually going on, right? So I saw somebody talking about the clickbaitiest news of the day. The clickbaitiest news of the day is indeed the news about Rogue and Captain Marvel 2. Guys, that ain't news. It ain't news. It's a fart in the wind at best. And, you know, again, no hard feelings. Do your thing. But I feel a responsibility to be real with you guys. I don't, there's nothing to it. You know what I mean? Nothing to it. Now, here we go. I want to go into the theater. I want to take y'all into the theater, and I want to show you something. I want to talk about why there's one Marvel game in 2020 that I'm actually excited about, and it is not the Avengers game. It is not that game that is the Square Enix Avengers thing, okay? So give me 1 second here, guys, and we'll get on in to the theater. To the theater. Get your popcorn ready. Go get your popcorn ready, guys. It should be a good old time. A good old time. Do you guys play? Anybody in here, by the way, chat, let me know. Anybody in here play Contest of Champions? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Anybody in here play Contest of Champions? Because that... Oh, we gotta skip this bull crap here. That is a game that The Godfather plays heavily, and he really, really likes. The Godfather is one of our executive producers, if you don't know, and he absolutely loves that game. Okay, let's go to the theater. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Trickle in, trickle in. Come on. Come on, come on in. Come on. You. Yeah, come on. Come on in. Put the cell phone away. Oh, my God. Why does everybody always go to the front row? You come back a little bit. Nobody likes to sit by me either. Jeez. I did put deodorant on, I think. Okay. All right. Are we in here? Is everybody in here? Is everybody playing nice? Oh my God, Jesus! I have to handle this Nightbot. I'm gonna go in and handle the Nightbot, guys. Don't worry, don't worry. Nightbot going ham. I know. Well, farted. Everybody out of the theater. Hector farted. Okay, no. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We'll. Comfy chairs indeed. Comfy chairs indeed. Okay, so I want to show you guys this trailer. This is for a game called Realm of the Champions, and then after we watch the trailer, I'm gonna explain why I'm so pumped about this game. So here we go. Here is the trailer for Realm of Champions, and then we'll talk about why this is my most anticipated Marvel game of 2020. Here we go.
We have a great responsibility over this world.
Ooh, pretty.
We are willing to pay it.
I have seen many futures. In all but one, war awaits.
Puny humans are just afraid of home because we're the strongest.
Cool. Lightning. Uh-oh, it's a Thor.
Wizards, hulks, demigods, let's be civil. Our realms have been butting heads for a long time. I don't know about you, but if fighting a secret war will prevent an open one, I'm game. Will you join me?
Interesting. Okay. So, first of all, what did you guys think? Let me know what you think about that in the trailer. There's a couple of other videos that I want to talk about or show you guys, and we'll get into this a little bit, okay? Now, in order to explain to you properly why I'm so excited about this game, in fact, here, give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull up another video that is about like one of the houses in the game, because I gotta show you this. Wait a minute. This is gonna be too hard to find.
We have got the.
Is this gonna be too hard to find? I really don't like how Okay, there we go. It has its own channel. Okay, yeah, this is the one. So. Pull this up for you guys in a second here, because I need to show you this dude that I met. Okay.
The Vishanti is basically a big university of magic.
Okay, this guy.
They're scholars. They study
Gabriel.
Mystical threat.
This dude is awesome. Okay. Now, let me explain. When I went to New York Comic Con, I was walking around as press with a press badge, okay? And I went over to the Realm of Champions thing. Now, the first reason that I was over there was because actually the Godfather hit me up and said, hey, man, go over to Contest of Champions. They usually give out like bonus stuff. If you could get me some of the bonus stuff, that would be awesome. And, and I was looking out for him. So I wanted to help him out. I wanted to get that for him. So I went over there. There's a new game. They hit me up. They emailed me. I think it was like on Thursday. I might have been in Philly before I went over to up to New York. And they hit me up with an email explaining what the game was. And even in their first explanation of it, I was really drawn in. I really liked the trailer. I was like, this looks dope. But I need to know more. I don't really know too much just by looking at that trailer, okay? So I go over to the booth, and I'm like, hey, I'm Press with the Den of Nerds. I just had some questions. Can I talk to a developer? Can I talk to whoever? I end up getting taken kind of in this roped off area with this gentleman, Gabriel, and this lady. And I wish I remembered her name. I'm doing a disservice to her because she was awesome too, and it works really hard on Contest of Champions. And both of these guys, or both of these people, were so excited about this game that they had created. Sitting down with them and doing the interview and asking them all sorts of questions, you could feel the energy coming off of these people and how excited they were about this particular game. And when I juxtaposed that against the people that I talked to for the Square Enix game, it's night and day. The Square Enix people were very abrasive. They weren't very pumped. It was all close-knit, boilerplated. They didn't even want to talk about some of the things that had already been out there about the game. And I was like, man, this is whack. Like, I got a bad taste in my mouth just talking to the developers of the Avengers game versus what I was talking about with these developers. Now, what this is a mobile game, okay? And it's like a combination of like a real-time strategy game and a sort of 3-on-3 multiplayer RPG thing, okay? What the big draw to this game is going to be is it is essentially you're going to have these different characters from these different houses. It all takes place in a Secret Wars Battle World setting, okay? Obviously, that gets me going because I'm super duper pumped about Battle World and Secret Wars. I also asked Gabriel to his face, I said, bro, is there any chance that the reason this game is doing this story is because the MCU is going to do Battle World and Secret Wars down the line? And he didn't tell me yes, but without telling me yes, he told me yes. Again, for legal reasons, he did not tell me yes. But he kind of told me yes, essentially. And I don't mean to throw Gabriel under the bus. I hope he doesn't get in trouble for that. But because it's real. Like, his enthusiasm for all things Marvel and some of the stuff he told me, I don't want to say off the record, but stuff that's just, it was just really interesting stuff that he told me about what it's like working at Marvel and making these characters and stories. Yeah, CGM show. Hold up. Am I comparing a mobile game to a huge RPG? 1,000% yes. I am telling you, maybe I'm not being clear. I think the $60 AAA studio developed Avengers game is going to suck a bunch of cocoa nuts. It is going to be a garbage shit show of AAA crap fest. It's not even going to be that fun. And I'm literally telling you that I'm going to be spending more time on this mobile game. And I would urge you to give this mobile game a chance because I am literally telling you that I think this game is going to be better, that you are going to have more fun, and that it's going to have longevity way more than the AAA developed Avengers game. That's literally what I'm telling you. CGM show. Do I need to make it more clear? Sorry, I got a little hot there. I apologize. Let's dial it back. A little bit. This game, which, by the way, they haven't even released any gameplay for. So you might be like, how could you say all that? They haven't even released the gameplay. Well, because I know what Contest of Champions is like. I know what these developers are like. I know what they're aiming for with this game. and I think it's going to be freaking fantastic. It's called The Realm of Champions. It's not out yet. It'll probably go. It's supposed to come out in 2020. It will probably come out in some kind of beta form or version down the line this year. And maybe in the next couple of months, it'll come out in like a beta form version. Now, they really are sort of piecemealing and teasing things out, okay? Which is weird. But one of the big draws, because I think I got a little distracted. And by the way, CGM show, I hope you don't take any offense. Like that's I'm not trying to be a dick, but that is how I feel, right? You'll play both? Good on you, dude. Bob's your uncle. If you play both. And honestly, I'll probably play both too. And I could be wrong. You know, I could be wrong. They could figure out the Avengers game. But I'm telling you right now, the look in the eyes of the developers when I ask them questions about the Avengers game is a look of horror. They were like, oh, God, please, no. Oh, God, please don't ask us about the game. We don't know shit about it. Please don't ask us about it. We don't know. That was the Avengers. And look, that's just, I'm being real. That was what I got from the developers of the AAA studio-developed Avengers game. So, are you guys picking up what I'm setting down here? You catching on? Do you understand? Because this Avengers game doesn't know what the fuck it is. It doesn't even know what it is. It's trying to be a single-player game that it can sell people on, and then it's trying to have this weak-ass multiplayer thing to keep people buying microtransactions and stuff like that. Like it looks like a mess. It looks like a mess, and I think that they delayed it because they probably still don't know what it is. Okay? On the total flip side of that, Realm of Champions, I think is going to be very, very good. Very, very good. And that's where I'm at with it. But let's watch this right here. Yeah, there's a Miss Marvel game coming out with some Avengers cameos. That's a whole nother thing about it that I don't even really want to get into because they're so brain dead in the way that they have approached that game and that story. They're so brain dead with it. But anyway, let's watch the rest of this trailer here because I'm probably all over the place, but I want to watch a little bit of this trailer with you guys, and then we'll get out of the theater and we'll get into Q&A, okay? Now, there are different houses. I haven't even talked about the big draw to the game. Damn it! I'm ADD right now. Okay. The big draw to the game is loot and customization. You saw it. It's all based off Elseworlds. You saw how dope that Spider-Man looked. You saw how dope that female Sorcerer Supreme looked. The game is going to have a lot of customization. It's like a looter shooter combined with an RTS. Basically, man, they're taking all of the fun elements out of some of the best types of games that are out there, putting it in a nice, digestible, mobile setting. I'm going to play so much of this game. I'm going to wail on this game. And that's where we're at with it. But also, there are different houses, okay? So there are different houses that you can be a part of, and depending on either the mission or the raid or whatever thing they end up doing, you cannot have certain characters from certain houses. And so what they've been done, what the channel's been doing for a while, has been talking about the different like houses or realms for them. So let's watch this. Let's watch Gabriel chat about this.
Defend the world against those mystical threats that sometimes invisible to the rest of the world. And the Ancient One, even though his mind is really mysterious and you don't know what he's thinking, that's his main goal, is to defend the world against mystical threats. You know, in our game, there'll be different ways to play the game. So you play as a Hulk is very different from playing as a Spider-Man. They have different roles. The mystics are always an interesting role in a game that you play with other people because they can be supportive, they can deal a lot of damage, they can do a lot of AoEs, or they can heal people. So playing as the Temple of Vishanti, it means that you'll be very important in the composition of the team, that you can support people and, you know, play in a different way that people that just deal damage or punch people would do. If you know, like me, that this reality is just one of many, and you like magic and mysticism and portals and demons from different dimensions, maybe the Temple of Vishanti is the house for you. You know, you pick that house like I did. But if you don't know, if you're still like, you know, in doubt, you can go to the website, playmrock.com, or the social channels and learn more about the different houses. We'll be releasing more every month, so you can check it out.
Yeah. So just talking about the different houses, and you couldn't hear him? Was he too low? Oh, well, that's embarrassing. But yeah, so that's basically just a little bit about Realm of Champions. That we're going to be looking for a lot of updates about it, but I felt like I wanted to talk. It's Marvel Monday, and I felt like I wanted to talk to you guys about why I'm so excited for this mobile game, and I'm legitimately more excited for it than I am for the Square Enix Avengers game, which, while I think will be very shiny and look really cool, will be probably super forgettable. And unless they make some major changes and actually figure out the systems that they're trying to figure out, I think it's going to be a kind of a bust for them. So that's just me. But yeah, let's get on out of the theater. Let's get on out of the theater. Watch your step. Watch your step. Somebody was throwing popcorn. So watch your step on that, okay? And now, guys, it is time for some Q&A. Let's get some Q&A music going on. This, to me, feels like some Q&A music right here. I can't dance, but I'm still going to do it. Let's get into some Q&A, guys. That's what we'll dedicate the rest of the show to. Only probably going to go for like 10, 15 more minutes, but should be fun. Okay, let's see here. At the end of the day, the Avengers game still going to sell like crazy because the name alone. June, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. This guy looks like a poor man's Mark Ruffalo. Yeah. He's kind of a smaller dude. Like, he's kind of like a smaller guy or whatever. But awesome individual. Great energy. Just really likes what he's really into it, man. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Harry Gofreet says, did Kevin Feige help with Venom? That's the only reason why it was decent. Kevin Feige had nothing to do with Venom. Zero to do with Venom. Actually, I heard he had -3% to do with that movie. So, yeah, he didn't help at all. But, interestingly enough, and not a lot of people know this, is Avad, whatever that guy's name is, and I apologize. That's not a dig on this guy. His name is just hard for me to figure out in my stupid nerd brain, okay? But that dude helped Kevin Feige launch the MCU. And he actually produced 2 MCU movies with Feige. And I forget which ones they were. But that AV guy, that Ari guy, or whatever his name is, that dude, he's old school MCU. He helped Kevin Feige get that whole thing started. So I can see where Sony's head is at a little bit, where they're like, hey, man, we can do this. We can do this whole thing. But can they? Ain't no party like a Den of Nerds party! Let's see here. There are literally no superhero games coming out. It has no competition. That's fair, June. That is fair. But classically, just so you know, most superhero games don't really do that great. Like, think about the last great Marvel game. I think, honestly, the superhero games that sell the best and that do the best are like Marvel vs. Capcom, which technically aren't really superhero games. You know what I mean? Even the last one, the one on Switch, what was that one called? I forget, but I liked it. I played it. I beat it. It was awesome. But I haven't really picked it up since. They don't actually sell that much. They don't. So there's been a lot of MCU video games that were just like straight up like ported or whatever. Oh, Spider-Man PS4, that is an anomaly. That game sold incredibly well, actually. So I will say that game sold incredibly well. I suppose the Arkham Knights games really sold really well. So those ones actually did sell really, really well. But most superhero games, and there have been a ton of them, don't really sell that well. Spider-Man 2 will sell well too. Spider-Man 2 will sell really well. That game is so good. That Spider-Man PS4 game, mind-blowing, just so good. That's the type of game, honestly, if you just want to just experience some fun game mechanics, just learn how to web sling in that game and literally just go do some web slinging in the game. Like, just swing around, man. It's just great. Like, the way they did it is great. Remember how they used to make a game for almost every superhero movie that would come out and were all garbage? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And what's funny is some people think that some of the bases of those crap games were imported into the Avengers game. So, for instance, the Captain America game legitimately had some decent combat with the shield. And I think because it's all... I don't know exactly, but I believe they took some of that stuff and implemented it into the Avengers game. How about the Oscars? I don't know nothing about the Oscars. I heard Joker won for most overrated hype movie of all time, which is a well-deserved Oscar. You guys know that I personally really loved that movie. I don't think it was overhyped, but a lot of evidence is out there that it was incredibly overhyped. It's not really as good as people like me think it is. So that's a tough one for me. But yeah, I heard it won the Oscar for most overrated crap fest of a R-rated goobly gobbly mess of all time, which I didn't even know was a category. Actually, it's really interesting. Actually, Marvel's Capcom Infinite underperformed despite the Avengers being in it. Yeah, but that's kind of because that system sucked, and what they did with the characters, they gutted that roster, and yeah, there's a lot of things done with that people didn't like. Let's see here. Do you have a review for Spider-Man PS4 on the gaming channel? I do not, but you can tweet at Justin from the Den of Nerds Gaming. You can tweet at him. I don't know his Twitter, but I know it exists. And you could tweet at him and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Because then someone else besides me will be saying it to him. Am I right? Am I right, though? Love you, Justin, but where's the Spider-Man review? They're right. They're right. Joker won for Best Actor and Score. Okay, I had the categories mixed up. My bad. My bad. My bad, guys. Nightbot says, go follow us on Twitter to complain about our content. Damn you, Nightbot! Damn you, Nightbot! But he's right. You can go do that if you want to complain about the Twitter. Will Birds of Prey even break even? What a dumpster fire. I definitely don't think it'll break even. And, you know, look, I'm going to put together this video. Tara and I are going to sort of put together the thing with the Birds of Prey movie. But I'm learning more and more about this film. I had no idea how much of a producing role Margot Robbie had in this movie. And it's hilarious because she shouldn't have. It's basically what it comes down to. Look, it's so weird to me because I actually like the movie. Like, I legitimately like this film way more than a lot of other people. And I've watched all the grumpy YouTube videos about it. I've watched all the people complaining about it. I got to be real with you guys. I don't even think the man-hating in Birds of Prey is really that intense. I legitimately think it's handled better in Birds of Prey than it was in Captain Marvel. And it ain't that bad in Captain Marvel. Like, it's not that bad in Captain Marvel. But, like, this, I've seen all these people be like, it is very anti-man. I'm like, really? I don't really see it as being very anti-man. Is it anti-man? Maybe a little bit. There's some real douchebaggy dudes in the film, but not every man in the movie is a horrible person. You know what I mean? Does it play up the girl power? For sure. But I don't even think it's not that bad. DC's problem is not so much with, particularly with Birds of Prey, the quality of this movie. It has to do with the marketing of it. It has to do with the you know, people get on my back about this, but there's no investment. Why would you go see this movie? If you're not into girl power, why would you go see Birds of Prey? I got fucking bullied into seeing it by you guys. You guys fucking bullied me into seeing it. And thank you, because I actually had a good time with the movie. I think it's kind of fun. But you ain't bullying most people into seeing that movie, right? God, what a colossal failure in the box office. And really just, it just shows what's going on with DC. It's not even, it's trend chasing, backwards, Hollywood suit level thinking. Like, I don't think the suits over at Warner Brothers give a shit about female representation. Look, maybe some of them do, but I don't think so. I think they care about money, and they literally felt like, hey man, if we follow this trend, it's going to make us money. They don't give a shit about the issue. They don't. Every guy's a rapist, a misogynist, or an idiot. Are you kidding, Josh? That's what Justin says. That's not true. I know it might seem like that if you're framing it from that, but it's simply not true, dude. Like, it's not. There's the dude that makes the egg sandwiches. You know what I mean? There's the guy that helps her out with where she lives. You know what I mean? There's plenty of like stupidity and like bad, you know, that kind of stuff in there, but it's really not it's not as egregious as people are saying, in my opinion. It's not. It's not. Like, it is a girl power movie. Like, no shit, it's a girl power movie. It's Birds of Prey. And the way they promoted it and they did it all, like, it's very obvious what it's going for. But again, like, to me, like, all of this, like, oh my God, it's really anti-male. I don't see it, dude. And I think, like, borderline, I think people that are saying that, like, that's really, like, narrative-based kind of preconceived notions, all that sort of stuff. Just my opinion. I'm a big fan of girl power movies. Fan, is it worth going to see? Absolutely, Jeremy. I had fun with it. I think it's a fun movie. Birds of Prey shill confirmed. I tell you what, they ain't got no money to give me a shill check. They're going to probably charge me. Birds of Prey is the only movie that instead of getting a shill check, you get charged. I expect a call any day from Warner Brothers being like, that's awesome. Thanks so much for talking positively about Birds of Prey. When will we get your $300 check in the mail? That's probably what that'll be like. I heard someone say that it'll end up being a breakup movie for girls, like a cult hit down the road. Maybe, and I hope for their sake, it does. But look, I mean, that's my thing. It's like, a lot of people want to talk about the Birds of Prey in the context of like another woke film collapsing, and like my frustrations with that shit is like, here's why I get frustrated by that, because it's not that it's not true. It's an incomplete truth. And it leaves this weird thing. Like, dude, Gemini Man bombed fucking hard. Gemini Man is not a political movie. Gemini Man is not a woke film. Gemini Man bombed fucking hard. There's a ton of movies in the past couple of years that have bombed super hard that have nothing to do with wokeness. It's not just wokeness, guys. It is the fact that media and entertainment is changing. The bar is so much higher, and Hollywood is stuck 20 years behind the times. And then you've got people over there like Feige that are changing the fucking game, and nobody can really play anymore. Like yeah. So that's where my stuff is with that, man. It's weakness. It's not wokeness. It's weakness. Yeah, man. These movies are... It's a combination of, like, terrible marketing. It's a combination of not understanding what's going to actually resonate with fans. Like, dude, what is the DCEU? What even is the DCEU? You don't even show Jared Leto in the movie? Like, you got to get a body double to bring in Jared Leto in the movie. There's no Jared Leto in the movie. And by the way, last thing I'll say about this. I've heard that this film, which also, just a little bit of inside baseball here, guys. I had heard a lot about the leaks for Birds of Prey. And so when Tara and I made that first video and I talked about Black Mask, I was talking about the Black Mask that was portrayed in the original cut of the film. And what I heard was Walter Hamada came in and basically was like, nope, fuck all this. We're going to cut. put this back together. And honestly, kudos to Walter Hamada, because this movie is way better than what I heard about from the leaks. Particularly the performance and the idea of Black Mask. I felt like Black Mask was dope in Birds of Prey. But the way it was all depicted in the original cut of the film, like Kathy Yan and whoever that writer is, there's this female writer that is now credited with Bumblebee and Birds of Prey. Two massive, incredible, horrible Hollywood flops. She's fucking done. Get her out of there. She's done. I don't even want to, I'm not even going to look up her name. But if I ever see a name that looks like hers, even a name that has the same amount of syllables of her, that's attached to a Hollywood production, I will vomit all over the place. I will projectile vomit in front of whoever is there, and I'll smack them in the face with pellets of my own vomit. Because it makes me sick! I lost my train of thought. But that's basically all I can say about that, is that Walter Hamada came in and fixed up this film. And Walter Hamada deserves a lot of credit. It also doesn't fucking matter, because this movie's going to bomb horribly. Wow, DCEU. You know, I'll say this. For the DC fans out there, let me say something positive about DC. Last thing before we get out of here, okay? I feel like Black Mask. Is everybody having a good time? Are you guys having a good time in chat? Last thing I'll say about DC, let's give a little positivity to the DC fans, okay? Lean in, guys. Lean in. Papa Josh wants to give you a little motivation before we get out of here. DC, the silver lining in DC is that it's such a shit show, it makes Star Wars look better. Okay, that's all I got for you today. Thank you, folks, so much for coming to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live, baby. Big Marvel video coming out on the regular MCU. That was a Freudian slip. On the regular Den of Nerds channel. Have you heard this rumor about Secret Invasion being its own Disney Plus show? Not sure how I feel about it, but that's the next video that will be coming out over on the Den of Nerds. And also, Tara and I are working on the DC video. Can't wait for that. That's going to be real fun as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Let me know if you're watching us on the replay. Let me know your thoughts about the things we covered in the comments section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. And man, we really do got to get an outro video on this show, man. We can't not have